All right, we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Pastrami Nation Podcast. Today's episode's super exciting. We have a very special guest who we'll get to in a second. But first, I just want to say thank you all for watching. Thank you all for checking out the show. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Share, tell all your friends about us. We really appreciate that. On today's show, we're going to be talking about a lot about food. We love food. We love talking about food. And listen, being a food, people nerd out about food, and that's what part of what we do here. We're all about pop culture and nerding out and stuff, and food is a big part of that. I'm Kevin, and joining me today, as usual, is Elijah.
Hello there.
What's going on, man? And of course, co-founder of Pastrami Nation himself, Mr. Jason Smith. What's up?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good, man. Good. It's nice to see you. You haven't been around for a couple of weeks. We're glad
it's
to
good
have
to
you
be
back.
man.
Yeah, it's so nice to have you back. We're really excited for that. And of course, Christian, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good. It's good to see you guys. Good to see you, Jason. Did you get a new camera? You're looking sharp, literally.
Probably the lights new.
Yeah. Looking good. Good to see you.
Better lighting.
And we have a very special guest with us today. He loves cooking, and right now he's in the midst of a competition. I will let him tell you all about the competition, what it's all about, and essentially why he's here. It's a really big deal. We're really excited to have him here. Welcome to the show, Michael. We're really excited to have you here to talk about food and nerd out a little bit.
Thanks, man. I'm super excited to be on the show with you guys, man.
Absolutely. We're really stoked to have you. And so let's kind of first, I would love to dive into kind of the reason you're here. We're going to boost you up. We want to get as many votes as possible. So let's talk about Carla Hall Presents Favorite Chef, which you are in the running to join. So can you tell us a little bit about that and how you got involved with that?
Yeah. So I have my Facebook group that I have is hashtag food album. And of course, every algorithms and things like that, it brings up anything to do with food. So I mean, if that's what I'm into, it throws up something. And when she started this was in, I believe it was like January or something like that. And I was like, I never give up. I always continue to try, and it's just like, what, even if it's some weird random like farmers market competition or a chili cook-off or whatever it is, like I'm gonna try, So I went ahead and I registered and I signed up on Facebook, and it was like, all right, we'll see what happens. So of course I naturally just forgot about it, and then I got an email in the beginning of May, and it's right immediately, it was like, access granted, you're officially a competitor on Favorite Chef. And I'm like, it happened. Like, oh my God, like I'm just a stay-at-home dad, like desert rat, like that's right. I made it on a Carla Hall show. Like, yes, dude. Like, so yeah, it was a surprise, definitely. But yeah, that's how it came up. And so I immediately, like that day, I started diving in and I started researching, and I went into Instagram and I went into Google, and I mean, as much as I could to find out exactly what this is about. And all it did was drive me insane. Like it drove, oh my God, this, like, I got it. So like now I'm pumped. I'm on fire. Like I can't wait. Like I'm so super excited. And currently I think I'm sitting in third place right now. Amongst a couple thousand people. So I'm trying to make top 20. So like it's kind of a big number.
Huge. And congratulations on the journey so far that you've gotten to this point already. It's just super exciting. So I have to assume, like, obviously, like you mentioned, when you got the call, like it was immediate excitement.
Yeah.
For me, there's like that. And then after a certain amount of time would immediately be followed by like dread. Because that's me. So was it just excitement for you fully, and there was no dread, or?
No, it was actually like, it was pure excitement immediately, kind of like right away. And I was just sitting out in the backyard with the dogs, like, and it was just like going through my email, and it had come up like in the middle of the day, and I was like, it's what's favorite chef? Like I literally forgot all about it, you know? And so when it hit me, I threw everything that was on my lap. I threw the dog. I mean, like, you name it. Like
Not the dog.
Yeah. I was like, I mean, he still landed. He's okay. But like, I was like, I was everywhere. I was all over the backyard. I was running around. I'm like, I couldn't like call someone, say, hey, I made it, and hang up fast enough to call somebody else. Like, you know, I was like, I was like a kid that in a candy store. Like I really was. I was a kid that got told like, here's $100 Fortnite gift card. It's like, oh my God.
Nice.
You know, like, like I was that excited.
What would you say your confidence level is like right now? Are you like, I'm ready? Like,
like, I mean, there's a difference between like cocky and confident, you know?
Absolutely.
And I'm as far as like, cause there's a first place, like a grand prize win. And then there's Carla's choice. And that's kind of still first place. It's not like second or anything. It's just 2 winners, you know? And I'm pretty confident I'm going to take one or the other, you know, like I absolutely have to. Like there's not a doubt in my mind that I've got this. And then like I was already sure, like but there are some competitors out there like all over Instagram. I'm seeing I'm like, hey, vote for. So I'm seeing all these other competitors, and some of these guys got chef coats and they're standing in the middle of their restaurant with their $500 knives and stuff. And I'm just like, that's cool. Well, that's awesome. Like I would love to be where you are, and I'll get there on my own hard work, you know, and stuff like that. But what's going to get me there initially is this $25,000. So, hey man, nice picture though. Like it looks good, but I got this, like, you know,
hell yeah.
And the fact, like I said, is like I keep telling all my friends, they're like, hey man, you know, so-and-so is also in this. And another one of our friends, you know, from this kitchen is in there. I'm like, oh, he's in it too. Awesome. Like, yeah, man. So like, good luck. And I was like, hey man, may the best chef win. Like I really, it doesn't matter. But to me, I feel like the most confidence I have right now is because I'm not in it for me. I don't want my name all over the place. It's not for me. I'm doing this for, like, I want to say like the group, you know what I mean? And I'm doing this for the desert, and I'm doing this for my kids, and I'm doing this because the very first person, I'm not even going to lie, the very first person I told when I got that email was my 9-year-old daughter. And the minute, I told her, and she was like, so Daddy, when you win,
yes.
So she said, Daddy, when you win the $25,000, then that means we can start our food truck or the storefront and feed the homeless once a week. And I'm like, that was
right.
That was the best way. That was like my whole thought process hasn't changed since that moment. Like I was like, so it's just like when you win, and this is what we're going to do. Cause it was like the big guy talks to me through her, you know what I mean? Like, so like if I'm taking any signs from anywhere, my daughter, I mean, like it's the innocence of kids, you know? So like it's that when she said that to me, that it was like, that's it. So like I made that my profile. I made it on the bio. I make it on all like the posts I make and everything else. I'm like, no, man, she gave that to me within minutes of knowing I'm on the show. I'm running with it. Like it's a sign, you know,
I love it. It's so pure. It's beautiful. You know, it's like your motivation. You're carrying everybody on your back, you know, how can you lose? You know? And
that's what I tell the group too. I'm like, you know, you guys are going in there, you guys are voting for me and everything else. But remember, like, this isn't for me. Like I'm gonna, what happens to every competition winner, like American Idol, or even on these Food Network shows, like what happens to these competition winners, like the Sandwich King. He got his own show. You know what I mean? He got his own show. I mean, like half of these guys won competitions before they had their own show. So I'm like, I'm Netflix ready right now. Like, you know, like, I'm ready to go. Like, you know, like, so like, give me like third or fourth place. It's totally fine. Cause I already know I'm going to be on Netflix, and you know, this guy's going to go buy a new truck. Awesome. Like, you know, like I'm going for gold.
I mean, I think regardless of what happens, this is like win-win situation, because this is huge exposure for you. Like you said, this puts you on Netflix. You know what I mean? I had a friend who was like in a graffiti competition for TV like 10 years ago. And yeah, he came in like maybe 6th or something. But like ever since then, you know, his career.
Business. And like the guys on what is that, Ink Masters or whatever? I mean, like there's a ton of losers that didn't even make it, that they're booming. Their business is booming now because they were on the show. And so it's like, man, if all I do is get that group, that hashtag food album on there, and they understand that it's not just some Facebook group, it's actually a big old family. Like I've got 6,000 members in there, and we share recipes and we share jokes, and we like, hey man, how'd you make that? And it's like, you know, like, and we boost each other all the time. But it's the one thing that the whole world can agree on. It's not political, it's not color, it's not religion. No, the one thing that you absolutely have to have, and so does that guy, and so does that girl over there, is food. Like, so the one thing we can all agree on is food. You know, it doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter if it's spicy or chocolate or diabetic, or like, it doesn't matter what it is. Like it's food, you know? So if I can go ahead and cook something that looks like some French cuisine or something like that, and make sure that it's sugar-free and gluten-free, and I can hand it to anybody. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's where I'm coming from with this group. Is it's not just check out my plates, it's watch us all come together and one common ground, you know.
You bring up the group a lot, and I love that. I'm going to assume, just based on your looks, and don't take this the wrong way, I'm assuming you're a lot younger than we are, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say a lot. I mean, gosh,
I don't know, but we'll see.
I'm 36 years old. I just turned 36 in March.
Then the answer is a lot. So like when we were coming up, I'm 41, whatever, you know. When we were all coming up, I remember how competitive everybody was, especially like, you know, when you're learning, you're kind of, you know, training. Things were really, really competitive. One thing that I've noticed now, you know, I don't come from like the culinary arts. I come from like, you know, visual arts. But one thing that I've noticed now, especially with like people in training, students, is the camaraderie. Like the competitiveness is kind of like out the door. There used to be like this almost gang mentality between like schools and like schools of thought. And now it's like all of the schools are coming together. Everybody, like, you know what I mean? And like, because we don't have to be competitive about this. There's enough work for everybody, you know, and like, I think it's better when we do it together as opposed to in competition. Ooh, you're really choppy right now. I don't know if, is that...
It was weird.
Oh, sorry, Mike. I think we're...
Yeah, no, yeah, we're losing him a little bit. He'll come back though, but no, I know exactly what you guys mean. I feel like, you know, food specifically has a way of bringing people together. And
it's a communal thing.
Very few things can do,
right.
And I think that's a really, really cool community, and being able to build that online or something like that, build a community, even when people who aren't, you know, who don't know each other or whatever, you know, sharing recipes and doing all that. There's something very special about that. And I've noticed, I've noticed the most like relaxed and most chill groups I'm in online are like the ones that are food related. It's always food related. Like there's not a lot of arguing. There's not a lot of, you know, the second someone tries to put anything like political or whatever in there, they're like out, because it's about food, right? It's about the food. It's about the things that bring us togetger.
It's about the things that everybody puts in their mouth.
Exactly. You back, Michael? I think we can.
I think it's working. Are we good?
Yeah, I think your video's a little bit choppy, but we can.
And the audio's choppy, but I think we can. It's audible, right? We can make it out.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know.
Really weird.
There you go. It's all right. It's all right. Kind of in and out.
Is it better now?
There we go. Ayo.
No, I fixed it.
Listen, live entertainment, man. You got to go roll with the punches.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, Christian. Yeah, you were talking about like the how everyone's
like
coming together and everything.
Right.
Yeah. Like, and it's like you even watch the cooking, like the cooking competition shows, and you'll see like one competitor who's really like way ahead of everybody will actually turn around and go help that guy really quick. You know, be like, oh, let me show you what you're doing wrong, and he'll like help you real quick and then go back. And it's like, man, like that's the whole thing. And that's why this group, like I've got no like rules and regulations on it. You know what I mean? I'm just like, if you got a funny meme or something, you want to put it on there, put it on there. Like, you know, I mean, if it was about movies or something,
right.
If you're eating popcorn and a charcuterie board during your movie, put it on there and let us know what movie you're watching. Like, it's like, but it had something to do with food, you know?
Right.
And so, yeah, that's that. And then at the same time, like I'll post one of my biggest things that I do is I will post little small mom and pop businesses, like your new local business owned, like whatever, family owned, like, hey man, I'm starting a new taco truck. Like, awesome. Give me all your information, send me your banner, send me everything. And every time you change location, tell me where you're going. And that's what we're going to do. And then I'll post it in there. And then so-and-so's taco truck's like, hey man, we were at the farmer's market. I'll go this Thursday. You go next Thursday. And I'm like, see, like that's that family thing. That's the camaraderie. Like that's the family part about it, is we help each other out. And then we'll do concerts or shows or whatever. And as long as it's got something to do with food, I'll throw it in there and they'll be like, hey man, I'm doing food at this concert. I'm like, awesome. Hey, go check so-and-so out. Like, and so it's like a lot like what we're doing with this podcast here. I told another buddy of mine that I was doing this. He was like, give me all the information. We're going to blow it up. Like, I was like, see, like right away.
That's so cool.
Nice.
If we were in the high desert and we wanted to eat your food, like if we're like a Hellendale, like what market could we find you at? Like,
well, like my food personally, I would just meet you at the house. Like it would be
okay.
Because I don't have business. I don't have a truck. I don't have a cart. I don't have anything. So what we do is I will go to the dollar store and go buy like 15 of those long serving trays, those aluminum trays, the throwaway ones. And I'll make 15 pans of enchiladas. And then I will meet you in the park and I will just go serve every kid at the skate park for that whole day. Like, that's just so like, cool. Whatever. But we do like the homeless events. We do, we have a homeless event we do every year where I do that. And but if we go to the farmer's market, I mean, like there's so many different things. And if there's an event, like we'll just like one of my buddies is a hip hop artist and he did an album release party and like his girlfriend runs all of her like Philly cheesesteaks and tacos and bacon wrap hot dogs and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, like if I ever did my own event, I would just bring something, but for the most part, if you guys wanted to eat, you give me whose house are we meeting at? And we'll just run to the store and I'll just barbecue for you right then and there. Oh. Like, I mean, you want Italian food. I do great. That's what sets me apart. And why I'm excited about competition is because I will make Italian food on the grill, or I will make like I will make crazy barbecued stuff in the cast iron skillet in the house instead. Or, or I'll do something way off the wall. I mix creamy with Cajun, and everybody's like, "Wait, what?" And it's like, yeah, like it's not that hard crunch. It's like creamy Cajun sauce breasts instead, and it's just like, oh, like I come up with these crazy off the wall things. So it's like, if you want to try my cooking, like tell me whose house we're going to and I'll meet you there.
If only we lived down there.
Yeah, come up to
I don't care where you live, man. I go everywhere. I went all the way to Arkansas just to eat beaver. Like I'm down. And that's the part about, like I said, this food album thing is I promised everyone, like one day, watch, we'll get a show and I'm traveling to everywhere, So like, let's say I went to Jason's house. Like what's one dish that you make, like that you hands down, you make the absolute best, like nobody can beat you?
Me? Oh boy, probably those. I make Yukon twice baked potatoes.
Ooh, see? So, and then now, and then what city do you live in?
Victorville.
Okay. And where can I find Yukon twice baked potatoes in Victorville?
Like mine?
Yeah. Something like yours.
I don't know. Maybe
your house.
Yeah, my house. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. But we would go somewhere like, I mean, Cracker Barrel is kind of like well known, but we would go to like, like Susan. Yeah, I don't think they want to go in there. We would go somewhere like Molly's,
Yes.
So like we would go to Molly's and be like, hey, check this out. Like this is this baked potato. They've got the best. Molly's has been around for so-and-so years, like da-da-da-da. But come on in, check it out. Like, and then we'll go in and sit down. We'll talk to them. We'll talk to an owner. Like, how long have you been doing this? And then one of my favorite lines is, it's all over my YouTube channel too, is how did you get from nowhere to now here? Because it's spelled the same. So when you write it out on a post, it makes more sense, So it's like, how did you get from nowhere to now here? And they're like, okay, so I have to. It's how did you go from just, man, we started off with a taco stand. One of my favorites is Fries Galore. Yes, that's where I started it because I've been eating at his truck since it was a cart. Like I have been eating fries galore since it was nothing, and they had a storefront and 3 trucks. Like
They're so good.
They're so good.
Oh,
And
man.
he was the very first interview ever was, how did you get from nowhere to now here? And he's walked me through it. And he was like, if you really want to know the story, go talk to my mom at the storefront. So we went and did another interview there and did the same thing. So I would go in our hashtag food album, drive up and dine or whatever. We would be like, hey, what's up? It's hashtag food album. We're here at Molly's, and we would give the history. And they're like, but today when we come back, we're going to Jason's house, and he's going to show us how he makes his Yukon twice baked potatoes. Anybody else ready to grub? Let's go. Like that. And we would go to your house and go sit in the backyard and tell us how you fell in love with food, who taught you how to make these things, and then eat your bomb ass potatoes. You know, like, so it's
that's awesome.
Like, that's where we're headed with it, you know? So that's where that's why I tell this whole group, I'm like, there might be 6,000 of you that's only better for me, because that's 6,000 different locations I have to go to.
That's
you
great.
Know, I get to go pop up in New Hampshire somewhere and then go stay at Joe's house. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey man, we're going to come eat your stuff in your backyard. Like, so
that'd be so awesome.
So
yeah,
cool.
That sounds really cool and a lot of fun. Just real quick, we're going to bring it up again later on in the show, but can you just tell people where they can go to vote for you? Because I'm very curious, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, there's links all over all of our social media. I mean, I think you guys are even sharing it too. I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's on Favorite Chef. It's like Carla Hall's Favorite Chef or favoritechef.com. And you can actually, I believe you can actually search for your chef and vote or like that, or you can just if you find any of the links on any of the social media, like it's all over Food Album, it's all over my page, it's all over everything. So, and it's funny, you can look up hashtag Food Album anything, like YouTube or Instagram. If you do like Food Album IG, it'll come up, bam, like I'm right there. Like it's
so cool.
Yeah,
it's
pretty unique.
Yeah, go check out the groups and go check out the YouTube and go vote for them, because it's going to be very, very exciting. So you were telling us a little bit before the show about your kind of I guess culinary journey, like why you started cooking in the first place. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Like how you kind of got into it?
Yeah, absolutely. Like that's funny that you even said journey, because we were talking about movies, and it's like, you almost guessed it. No. Yeah, that was close. So, yeah, like I said, it started like when I was younger. I used to cook with my grandparents. You know, my grandparents, they're real Southern cooking, real heavy stuff. My mom was a pretty good cook. I mean, my mom was around there, but like I was in and out of homes all the time. I was never in the same spot for very long, you know? So at a young age, I got to work right away. So when I became a dad, I got to work as a pipeliner, and I did that for about, I think it was like close to 15 years. And I was working 60 to 72 hour days, you know, I mean, 60, 72 hour weeks. And I mean, we were in and out of hotels like crazy. And so like you either got off when those restaurants already closed, or you had to suffer and have McDonald's. And like for someone who just worked for 12 hours, I'm not down for a Big Mac. I don't want that. Like, you know, I don't want fries. Yeah. I want to eat, you know, I'm hungry, you know? So naturally, being in an extended stay hotel room, like we there's a couple of hungry dudes. I mean, like, and we're like 3 or 4 of us sharing one room. We're just like, all right, man, you cook tonight, I'll cook tomorrow, this guy will cook Thursday. It's like, okay, cool. Well, let's do that instead. So we took all of our per diem money and went shopping instead of using it for restaurants.
Good idea.
And yeah, and it was pretty cool too, because like me, of course, back then the only thing I really knew how to make was chicken parmesan and a chicken fried steak. Like I was really good at mashed potatoes and mac and cheese, and it's like, yeah, let's do that. Like, you know, and at home I can make, like, I can do grilled cheese and chicken nuggets. Like I'm the absolute best chicken nugget maker. Like, you know, like, nice. You can't get it more crispy than me. Like they're pretty awesome. But that was it. That was the extent of my culinary skills, you know? And so being with these guys little by little, like one of them was like, it was payday, obviously. And he went across the street for his ingredients and came back with 2 lobsters that were still moving around. And I'm just like, nice. Like, so, what do we do with that? And why is it not red? You know, like, how, like, oh, have you ever had lobster? I'm like, yeah, but it's like red and like, it's like full of like butter and stuff. So like, I don't know, how do we do that? Like, you know? So it was like really, it was interesting to see him like teach somebody, you know. Then like one of the next days, it was like okay, well, this guy's making something else, and it was like, oh man, I don't even remember what it's called, like some Mediterranean, Middle Eastern something, you know. And I looked at it and looked a lot like pulled pork, all over like rice, you know. And I was like, whatever, it looks edible, and I just got off work, so I'm gonna eat that, like, you know. So he's like, well, next week I'll show you how to make it. And it's like, all right, awesome. So like, it's kind of like where the interest started, you know?
Yeah.
And then being a single dad is when it hit home. So about 2017, I had to be a single dad, and these kids wanted this and that and this, and I'm just like, okay. So Pinterest,
like that.
yeah, Pinterest became my best friend rather fast, you know? And I'm just, because it's got like a picture, and I'm like, you guys want this? And it's like, yeah. I'm like, awesome.
Nice.
The
How to
menu.
make it. Yeah. So then I'll be right back. You know, we're going to go to Food for Less, and then we're going to come back and we're going to make this, you know? So like naturally, I didn't have much to like entertain them. You know, I wasn't, it was new. I didn't have like video games and TVs and like bikes and all this other stuff right away. So it was like, I had to find something entertaining. So naturally, I'm like, you guys want to eat this? Like, yeah, that looks good. I'm like, well, do you want to know why it tastes good? Like why it looks like
There
this?
you go. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, well, yeah, of course. So like right away, like my daughter, first of all, you know, but my son right away was like, if it's got to do with like steak or cutting or making a sauce, like I'm in, you know? So I'm like, okay, cool. So he even gave it his own name called a sauceologist.
Nice.
Love it.
Yeah. So
I
like
that.
he's a sauceologist. This dude can make you a salmon with cranberries, Dijon mustard, and honey.
Ooh.
And I'm like, you're not putting cranberries on my fish. Like, I'm not doing it like that. And he's like, Dad, I'm a sauceologist, bro. Just trust me. You know, and I'm just like, okay. Or one day I let him make the beginning of my pulled pork sandwiches. So I'm like, go ahead, make like a barbecue sauce to put in pulled pork sandwich. He's like, okay. So he goes on Pinterest and he picks a recipe, and all of a sudden half my bottle of Crown Royal was gone, and I didn't understand why. And it's like, yeah. So I'm like, at least tell me you baked it off. Like, you know, like that. He's like, yeah. He goes, I simmered it first, and then you add the stuff. I followed the ingredients, and I'm like, okay, that's just an awful lot of Dad's Crown. Like, you know, like,
Not the crown.
not the Crown, man. Why the rum? Like, you know, yeah. So, but hands down, like he used a vanilla Crown Royal in a barbecue sauce, and I mean he did only use like a cup or two, you know, but I mean like he baked it off and he made it for 3 pounds of pulled pork sandwich, and I cannot make that sauce. I can't make it. He has told me, he has sent it to me. He said it, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what you did, but this is not it. Like, you know, like find the other recipe, because like I need his sauce, and but yeah. So like I say, it was all with those kids, man. Like becoming a single dad.
New goal acquired.
Yeah, it naturally amped it up. It amped it up big time. So,
that's so cool.
That's awesome.
I don't want to say it was forced to, but I like more or less I was like, I found a passion that was like household wide, rather, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then of course at that age I was like 20 something, you know, and I found out there was a lot of my buddies who had kids, and a lot of my buddies who were single dads who had kids. It's like, how'd you make that? Like, my son wants that. And I'm like, dude, you know what we should do is we should all get together and like make a group so we can just always post each other's stuff. And they're like, yeah, bro, that sounds like a great idea. You know, it's like, okay, cool. So, and then boom, like I said, that's how the group started. Now this love for cooking was amped because I got to share it, you know, and it was like, dude, guess what I can make? And then someone else like, hey, does your kids like cranberries? Yeah, look what I can make, you know? And it was like, oh, dude,
Nice.
you know, yeah, that's how it all came out. You know what I mean?
So if someone goes to your food album, you know, and checks out the group and everything, do you ever find like, you know, is generally everything on like, you know, the old thing, you know, ratatouille, everyone can cook, right? Everyone can cook idea. Is it pretty easy to pick up a lot of, like, for you, for example, was there ever like a dish or anything that you kind of felt intimidated by and you were kind of like nervous to try to make it at first, but you went for it?
Like I said, not
You're choppy again. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
So I would say
Chop it. No, it's okay. He'll be back. He'll be back again. You know, that's how it always works. What about you guys? Have you guys ever attempted to make anything that you guys were like, try to give it a shot, whether it worked out or not? Was there anything that you guys have tried, Jason or Christian? And you guys are just cooking, try to get out of your comfort zone and do something a little bit different?
I tried beef Wellington, and everybody at the house liked it, but me, I'm like, I screwed it up. It's not the Gordon Ramsay beef Wellington you see on like Hell's Kitchen or whatever, but it was pretty. It tasted good.
I watched the video of Ramsay when he was doing he's doing a reaction video, and this kid in college with like a little hot plate and a little oven made like a beef Wellington in his room.
Oh, nice.
So crazy. Like he got it perfect. Even like Ramsay was like, that is incredible. That is insane. How did you do that?
Kids are going crazy with their hot plates.
That's nuts. What about you, Christian? Like, what's the dish that kind of maybe intimidated you a little bit where you just gave it a shot anyways?
I am the wrong person to talk to. I am the most exotic thing that I can make is a fresh hot pocket from the freezer.
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
I'm sorry for laughing.
I can make it perfectly a little bit lava hot in the inside and still kind of cold on the outside.
This kid makes a mean ramen.
I do. I like. Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Mom always loves ramen.
Hey, what's up, Michael? Nice to see you again.
Hey.
Anyways, yeah. What were you saying? Was there ever like a dish or anything that was kind of?
Well, yeah. So honestly, it's like every dish. Like every dish to me is intimidating because I can see it and I'm like, oh man, that's gonna be great. And then when I make it doesn't look nothing like that, especially like on a paper plate from Walmart, it did not look like anything like that post did, And then they cut it in half and it's all drooly and stuff, and it's just like, all right, cool. Well, that looks amazing, and then you try to make it and it's not,
Right.
I guess the one I would say, what do you want to say? Like a category, I guess that would be most difficult for me is something that's actually new to me, like just recently, is like dietary restrictions. I mean, like things like without salt or sugar free, or like I can't have gluten, or I can't have seeds, or I can't have stuff like that. I think those are the most intimidating because I'm like all about flavor. I'm like flavor type. And I was just like, oh man, this would be great. Like kaboom, there's like, half a cup of salt. And it's like, oh my God. Like, but I'm also Hawaiian. So like us Hawaiians are in love with salt. We would marry salt if we could. Yeah. So like, so it's I grew up like everything was sugar. And my grandma was a baker. My mom was a baker. So naturally my daughter, she wants to grow up and own a ballerina studio bakery.
That is awesome.
She calls it the Ballerina Bakery. Yeah. So in the back is a ballerina studio, but when you come out after class, you can stop right here in the corner on your way out, and there's a bakery there.
Genius.
And she wants to open first thing in the morning as just a bakery, and then later on in the afternoons when she has her classes. But the bakery's open all day. And she said she wants to, this was my favorite, she wants to open it at like 5 a.m. when daddies go to work. And I'm like,
oh.
Like, bro, if I'm gonna go,
a sweetheart.
Yeah, if you went into some little girl, tell me there's some little well, I mean, she probably won't be little then, but like if there's a little girl bakery right there and it's first thing in the morning, you're gonna go get a croissant for sure. Like, you know,
how do you not?
Like, I'm gonna get a ham and cheese every day. Like, you know, like
what kind of monster would walk by that and not get something?
That's what I'm saying. Good luck with that. And then she's a very smart marketer too, because it's like, okay, cool. So like, we're going to have ballet class, and then daddy, can I have a donut? Yeah, sucks for you. Start sending mom, because dads are going to cave. Like dads are going to cave to a ballerina who wants her food. So like, so like when it comes to baking and stuff, I would have to bake without sugar or like without that teaspoon of salt or something. So it's like, it's interesting, it's intriguing, and at the same time, it's intimidating.
Yeah. So we got a couple shout outs here. I don't know if he, Arturo says, what's up? What's up, Arturo? Hernandez Juals says, my guy, Mike Quick. We also got a Zozo joining us, and she says, hi. And she also says, I am Mike's daughter.
There you go. That's my ballerina baker
there. I will eat at that bakery every day. Just open it. We'll all stop by.
I'll go out of my way.
Sure. We live in Portland, but we'll still stop by.
Oh, don't think we will not travel to Portland. I will go see you guys. Especially if we get this food truck, me and Zozo.
That would be incredible. We will look forward to seeing y'all. That's awesome. She's watching. That's so cool.
That's amazing. That's exciting that she did that. I'm all like fangirl.
That's really cool. No, that's a really great business plan, and that's awesome. So let's move on. We are a pop culture podcast, so of course we got to talk about movies and TV, right? Like, there's so many movies, so much great TV that food is such an integral part to maybe not the whole plot, but it's such a memorable scene, or there's the whole plot points that revolve around it. Some movies that come to mind for me, I'm obsessed with The Bear. I don't know if you've seen The Bear, but The Bear is one of my favorite foods, or one of my favorite shows about food. It's a great show all together, but the food they have on there is amazing. Chef is one of my favorite movies of all time. You have everything from Ratatouille, The Menu, so many great food-inspired films. What I want to do is kind of go around Garfield lasagna, absolutely. Garfield lasagna. What I want to do is kind of go around the table and talk about some of our favorite media that has to do with food. Michael, I love to start with you, because you said before we started, you were talking about you have a big inspiration for your journey and something that you're very excited to talk about in the movie round. So please go for it. We're really excited to hear about it.
Well, okay. So there's a movie, and I don't know, I think it came out, I want to say it's like 2014, something like that. And it's called The 100-Foot Journey. I don't know.
I've heard of it, but I have not seen it.
Okay, it's a comedy, romance, and food, and I mean, it is insane. So they take, it's an Indian chef, an Indian family who are a family of chefs that are absolutely and positively not culinary trained whatsoever. It's just a family-owned thing. They make food all the time. They have their own kitchen, yada yada. They end up moving to France, and they have to be within 100 feet of a Michelin star French cuisine.
Right.
And that's where they need to open up their restaurant. So you're talking about a Michelin star trained French cuisine is directly across the street from a family-owned Indian restaurant. Right. And there's no training there. Like, there's no schooling, there's no nothing, it's an amazing movie. That's where it all starts for me, because it hits the family thing at home. The movie itself, it's all about family. It's all about cooking. The main thing, like when you go on the food album, it says where food brings us together as family, and like I said before, like, I push those cultural boundaries on purpose. Like, I try to push, like, I can definitely put a plate in front of the four of us or five of us, and we would all eat the same thing, So like this particular movie does that. It brings the family together where all the kids are cooking, the parents are cooking and everything else, but you have to force that Indian style into the French style, Another big thing that it did for me was there's one of those beginning scenes is where the French cuisine is a big old fancy, like the landscape is on point and it's super duper clean and proper. And then across the street, there's this old burnt down, like fallen apart cobblestone restaurant that nobody's in. And that's the one they buy, So they didn't go looking for a restaurant that already has all the stuff in it and it has stoves and ovens and it's ready to go. And that's what me and Zoe are looking for. We're looking for the cobblestone, burnt down, trashed. Like, we don't want nothing to work when we get there, Nice. And we want to put all of the blood, sweat, and tears and all of the heart from, it don't matter if it's me Max and Zoe, or if it's the guy across the street, or if it's the members from the food album, or if it's like people who fly in to help. I mean, like,
Right.
I don't, and what mine and Zoe's idea is we're going to go out there and look for, because, you know, some homeless people are, they're not all there by choice. Some just got dealt a bad hand, you know?
Yeah.
So if you go out there and there's that one guy who's like, hey man, if you guys ever need anything or whatever, it's like, actually, you see that place over there? The one with the gate? Like, yeah, we just bought that place. And if you want to help, like, I got a job for you. Yeah, I'll feed you all day. And I need an on-site security guard. So is this where you're staying? All right, cool. Now you're staying there. You know, so I immediately, like, bam, I got me an on-site security guard and I got another hand, you know, and then so like it, not only did I help feed the homeless once it was up, but man, I started day one, you know, so we're looking to bring jobs literally. I'm not looking to that guy who got fired from over there. Like, no, I want the guy who needs a job and needs a life and needs something right now, you know? And so like that's to in this movie, they got the old rundown, burnt down restaurant and brought it up from nothing to something. They literally went from nowhere to now here.
That is really cool. Yeah. I'm looking up the movie 100-Foot Journey, directed by Lasse Hallström, starring Helen Mirren and Puri, some really, really great cast. It's funny, Lasse Hallström, he actually directed one of my other favorite movies about food, but this one has to do with sweets, Chocolat, with Johnny Depp. And and that movie is the way they just film chocolate is just like insane. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, you see in there the producers as well as Steven Spielberg and Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, you know, like random, like, you know,
that's so crazy. Like, that's insane. I'm gonna have to check out this movie. I don't know how. Like I said, I heard of it. It just flew under my radar for some reason.
It's just called the 100-Foot Journey, and it kind of looks like one of those. What's the word I'm looking for? Like the films, like, you know what I mean, like student films or something like that. Like, it's not something. It wasn't a blockbuster, so nobody really knows about it. You know,
it's an Amblin movie. It's Amblin and Harpo Films. Which is crazy. Like, that's insane. That's cool. Yeah, I'm really, really excited to check that out. Now we're definitely gonna have to watch that.
I'm telling you, you're gonna want to watch it. It's got a little bit of romance in it, but it's not. It's not what
cool.
you think it is. The comedy, and then the food. You're instantly gonna like be like, oh, that was a great movie. Time to eat. You know, like that's it.
Yeah, also like what you feel after watching Chef.
Oh my gosh, Chef does that every single time.
I cannot watch cooking shows. Like, if I'm not eating while I'm watching it, I'm totally screwed, and my bank account is too.
Yeah,
I'm going nuts, man. I'm gonna eat something bad, like, for sure.
Yeah,
you know?
I think,
and I'm usually up late too. Like, we watched it was a Barbecue Showdown on Netflix.
Nice.
Yeah, the Barbecue Showdown. That show is bad. If you do not watch it on a full stomach, you're in big trouble. So I would watch it and then naturally start going outside before the end of the show. And I'm like heating up the coals and they're like, what are you doing? It's like 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, I know, but I was watching the show. Like, you know, I know it's starting. I'm going to make those ribs now. So they're ready for breakfast.
So they're ready for midnight.
It's ready for midnight. I'm going to be honest. Like, that's what it was. It was ready for midnight. Yeah. Like, so yeah.
If I was an adult, I'd do that too.
Yeah, nobody understands either. Like, I'm like all of maybe 150 pounds, dripping wet with boots on, holding concrete, and nobody gets it because they're like, "Dude, you eat? Like, did you make that for dinner?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, and how many people are in your house? And they're like, 2 kids and me. Like, who ate the rest? And then, didn't you make those breakfast burritos for breakfast? Like, yeah. Like, and did you make those sandwiches for lunch? Like, yeah. Like, you know, nobody. They're like, well, how do you stay so skinny, man? Like, 'cause I can. As much as I can cook, I can eat, you know?
You and me are one of the same.
This kid, he's eating, he eats so much. Like, he's a teenage boy. So, like, he's shoveling everything into his face.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's the thing. I never really grew up, dude. Like, you know, like,
nice.
Yeah. I never grew up. I'm just a really big facial hair covered teenager.
See, there you go. See, you have nothing to worry about. You're good. You're
and
good.
if you keep that young heart, that's what gets everybody going. You know what I mean? And that's what keeps, like, that's the camera presence, the videos, the going out and talking to people and stuff like that. I'm not sitting there boring like a newscaster or somebody that's obviously trying to get to you for some type of beneficial reason, you know. I'm young at heart. I'm just like a kid, man. I'm really just here because I love this stuff. Like, you make something I love and it's food. So I'm really just trying to talk to you so I can eat that, like, you know, or go home and make it.
My film teacher, he might, like, I know he's not joking, but like he says it in like a somewhat joking, serious tone, but like, kid, you got to get yourself an agent. That's what he says to me every now and again because of the way I look and the way I act sometimes.
Yes, that's amazing, dude. That's actually huge. Yeah. Like, and everybody tells me, like, dude, you belong on TV, or you belong. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm trying. Like, you know, like, been trying. You know,
no doubt you'll get there, man. You got the personality, you got the skills. Like, your heart's in the right place. Like, that's what it's about, right? Like, you have the passion, you have the drive. Just like it's crazy. Like, that's why I love talking to you right now, because it's like it's energetic and it's very contagious.
That's what a lot of my friends say. Like, dude, I was talking to you, like, I just got off work, I was ready for a shower. He goes, now I just want to know, like, where you're gonna go eat right now. And I was like, how do you know I'm gonna go eat? You know, like, you know, he goes, because you got me all hungry on the phone call, and now just you want to go meet at Chili's? I'm like, dude, let's go. Like, you know, like he was like, I was totally tired until I talked to you.
That's so good. That's so awesome.
I love friends like that, though.
Yeah. No. What about you guys? What are some of your guys' favorite movies and TV shows with food? Like, if you had to pick one that you can watch over and over again that has to do with food, what are you guys picking? Jason, what are you picking?
I like to watch on Food Network. It's Beat Bobby Flay, because he always puts two chefs, like restaurant owners or whatever. They compete against each other and he picks the special ingredient. And whoever wins gets to go against him, and he's got to make their signature dish. And like, yeah, that show is so awesome.
That's one of my favorites. I would absolutely die if I got on that show, because I'm like, man, I've got one thing and it's the simplest thing ever, and I just want to blow them away with it. And it's like he could be like, hey, so what's your signature dish, Mike? Like, what are we making? You know, it's like, boom, grilled cheese.
Yes.
It's like, why? It's like, yeah, because anybody can put a piece of American cheese between two pieces of toasted bread. Awesome. But can you make a caprese pastrami grilled cheese like I can?
Nice.
Like,
That's amazing.
I don't like cheese, but that does sound amazing.
He loves the grilled cheese.
It's like a pastrami salad between toast. But
you're in the right place, man.
Of garlic bread. 2 pieces of garlic bread instead. And it's like, I use sourdough bread and I put garlic spread on it, and I just
gosh.
God.
It's a caprese salad with like 3 different cheeses and pastrami in it. Like, and it just,
for the record,
like Tom's pastrami sandwich with the mustard and pickles, but throw that into a salad.
If I wasn't hungry before this, god damn it, will I be after?
I'm telling you, I'm that friend. I will not only get you tired, you know, like, or getting you tired from being around me, or I'm gonna get you super hyper, or I'm gonna get you fat. So like that's,
I love it.
I love it. That's the 3 things my friends are good for.
So just real quick, I know what your favorite show is about food, because you had to, when he was a kid growing up, we had to put it on for him, like at night. That's the only thing he would watch. He would not go to sleep without watching
Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
That is one of his all-time, ever since he was a baby, I swear, like growing up, that's all he would watch. Like, his nighttime television block was like, he had to have that on. He had to like lay down with his blanket, and like his, you know, just, that's the only thing he would fall asleep to. And he'd watch it all day, every day. Food Network was on all the time, but that's like still one of his all-time favorite shows.
Yeah. That's my inspiration for the food album too, is that exact show. And it's like, because I just like the way he does, like, he goes to different local things as much as he goes to the bigger things and stuff. He promotes that. But I want to just throw that curveball in there and go to someone like personal. I want to bring up the little man, you know, and that's what I'm always about, is bringing up the little man, because it's the ones that get overseen, you know. And but like, yeah, that's if you go to my Zoe Grace, if you go to her Netflix profile, it's in there. It's like, you click her profile and it's like, continue watching, or because you watched. It's like trolls, food, like the rest is
go.
It's just there like just food, how to bake this, and like, is that cake? And I mean, like, I can tell when she has been on mine or something, because like all of a sudden all my because you watched are different on all my different like streaming things. I'm just like, yep, Zoe's been here. Like, she watched something on my stuff, because it's all food, it's all baking, it's all, I'm like, man, like.
That's great.
You,
yeah. What about you, Christian?
There's a few things. I mean, you guys said a lot of them. I love all of those movies, all of those shows. I love Chef, obviously. Even the show, the Netflix series, where he sits down with like a bunch of like, I think there's a couple seasons. I think there's also like a new, like conversations during dinner. I forget where like
wasn't that like Dinner with Friends?
Dinner with Friends, but like they talk about food, and it's kind of awesome. And then there's another show I think with God, is it what's his name? Cho something. But he kind of sits down with people too, and then he cooks for them. It's basically he's having a conversation while like cooking for them. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. The one I think I love, I just love Alton Brown. So like Good Eats.
Yeah.
To this day, the turkey that we make for Thanksgiving is because of Alton. It's Alton's recipe. I'm not a big turkey guy. Maybe because my mom made dry turkey for my whole life. But then when I learned how to make like a good, moist turkey, that changed the game. So Alton, whatever science that man wants to throw at me, I'll take it. So
dude,
Alton, you got well done turkeys too, huh?
Christian, as far as food, be careful when introducing Filipino foods to Mexicans, bro. I know. Would you like some puto? I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm assuming. Yeah, it's here's the other thing too, because you're talking about like salt and sodium. I think there's a lot of like, I don't know. I assume with a lot of Mexican food, because I like Mexican food is my favorite food. I know because I'm Filipino, and I know because I eat Filipino food. Lot of sodium, like a lot of sodium.
Yeah,
a lot of MSG.
A lot of MSG. So, like recently I have been trying to cook without salt. That's hard, man. Like eliminating, like you have to cook with salt, but like to try to keep it to a minimum, but keep the flavors in is really difficult too. I've also been hanging out a lot with vegans lately and eating a lot of vegan food. I was surprised. There's a lot of stuff that I was like, what is this? And I eat it. And I'm like, if nobody told me.
Some of that vegan stuff.
Yeah, that's like, so like my current living situation, it's like my foster mom and my brothers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was unaware that there's an entire like area of food that I've never quite ventured into. I've always seen it on all the cooking shows, but I like, where do you like, how do I start that? Like, where do you get like something like these words that I don't know, And like, there's like, okay, for example, have you guys ever heard of paprikash?
No.
Exactly. Neither have I. And I've watched years and years of Food Network, and I've never seen it. And I have no idea what it is. I know when I walked into it, it smells amazing. And then there's like, dude, I've had Egyptian, like this is like Egyptian beef and rice. And then there's like, dude, there's like they make so many different like Hungarian and like all this like Arabic and like something else. I mean, like, dude, like Polish and like I mean, there's all of a sudden I come in, I'm like, oh man, that looks amazing. What is that? And they list off what's in it. I'm like, cool. I'm probably not going to eat that. Like they're like yes, you are. And I'm like, dude, how can I not? It smells amazing. But like they're like, or my brother's thing to do is he likes to make it, and like especially knowing if I'm gone, and then I'll pull up and he'll be like, hey bro, dinner's done, and I'm like, all right, dope. So he's like, I'm like, so how do I plate this? And he's like, so you put this here, and then you do that, and then you drizzle this sauce all over it, and then I'm like, cool, what's in it? He was like, I'm not telling you, sit down and eat. And I'm just like, I'm 36 years old, bro. Like you're like, he's like, I don't care. He's like, you still act like a kid, so like, be a 36-year-old man and eat that. And I'm like, man, all right, fine, like that. And then when I eat it, I'm like, dude, that was great. He's like, awesome. That was like green beans, like dragon tongue, and like I'm just like, what the heck, like bro, like he's like, but if I had told you, you wouldn't have ate it, So I've had so many different things.
Don't be taking ideas from this.
Oh, I'm telling you, no, dude. Like my whole life, I will not eat green beans at all.
I love green beans.
This dude, he hid them in my favorite food, bacon. And
brilliant!
The minute he hid it in bacon, I was all over it. And I was just like, dude. And then so like he knows I'm like
eat green beans, but that elevates it.
Dude, I'm like anti-vegetable. Like I always tell everybody, they're like, you don't eat that? I'm like, no. And they're like, why? I'm like, because it's good for you. I'm not gonna eat that. So like I'm not gonna eat that. Like they're like, so how do you make this stuff if you're a chef? I'm like, I'm a chef, dude. I can make anything. I could, if you name it, hey man, I want this on my plate. Awesome, I'll make it for you. But That doesn't mean I'm going to eat it. You know, like,
God bless your metabolism, because how the hell $1.50 with no veggies, man? That's amazing.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, and all I eat proteins. I drink a protein shake every morning. I'll put a raw egg in it and I top it off.
How active are you? Are you like you're
extremely
active all day?
No, like extremely. Like I said, extremely.
Okay.
Yeah. You could put me next to a crackhead and he'll fall asleep before I do.
Nice.
Like he's LA crackhead's got nothing on me. Like, you know,
that is. You want to come up and try Portland instead?
I can't. Yeah. I mean, I've seen some Washington, some Spokane, Washington ones, and like those are pretty. I'm like they're out there.
I completely agree with that 100%.
But like no, I'm pretty active, and like I said, I was doing pipelining for a long time, so like I'm doing like warehouse. I work warehouse. I work concrete and asphalt and heavy equipment, and I mean like so for the most part, like if it's outside in the sun or if it's got keys and a throttle, I'm on it. You know,
right.
So like, but like, and then, but as far as like sitting down and doing anything, you know, like I can't. Like my kid, if it's movie night, I'll sit for movie night. If it's a movie I want to see. If it's a movie I don't want to see, good luck. I'm probably in the kitchen. Like nice. I'm listening, guys. I'm listening. God, shut up. Like,
Dad, you're missing it.
Yeah, exactly. You know. So
yeah, no, that's great. I commend that. That's
very cool. I usually never start moving.
No, completely understand. Well, Michael, it was a joy having you on. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you said chef and
chef. I got chef. And the menu, the bear. The bear is like my number one. Like I love the bear so much. The bear. It's not like a reality competition or anything, but it's the story. The food itself looks amazing. I got to go to Chicago 2 weeks ago, and I got one of the Italian sandwiches. Italian
beef sandwiches. Yes.
Oh my gosh, so good. And their pizza and like everything. I like culinary adventure over in Chicago. Like it was incredible. Went over there for Comic-Con, but like came back with food in my stomach and I was happy. Is super excited to be there. So it was great. It was great.
I'm sorry, but may I bring up one more that food isn't exactly in the forefront, but when food pops up on this scene, it's always it always looks amazing, but it's an anime and it's One Piece, so it's drawn to look amazing.
One of my nephew just got his little One Piece costume, and he was like that. He always tells me, he's like, you always remind me of One Piece because of food. And it's like that's so that was valid. That was actually valid.
Anime, like a lot of Studio Ghibli stuff, has some amazing looking food. Like it's crazy. Spirited Away, even as like junky and crazy as it looks. I'm like, I want that. I want
to try those rice balls.
Yeah, the rice balls, the Halloween Castle dish.
So like, there's a new food truck, and like I think it's like San Antonio, Texas, or something like that, called My Tasty Balls. And it's like it's called. That's what it's called. Don't laugh. Like it. So it's called My Tasty Balls. It says right on the food truck, like the tastiest balls you've ever had.
I love it. I love it.
They make potato balls, rice balls. They like, dude, and it's everything's like a little, like almost like a little hush puppy, you know. And it's like, I've got so many recipes for that. And like, if you guys join that, like I said, join on Facebook. It's literally #food-album, and you get in there. I always tell the group, I'm like, you know, like it's me, admin one, because I started it. You know, like it's your boy, admin one, but I'm accepting all challenges. So it's like, hey, Mike, can you make this? You know, and it's like, oh man, dude, I'm down. Let's try to make that. Like, so one of last year's favorite chef winner actually did that on Instagram yesterday. And she's challenging all of us favorite chef competitors to get on and make a purple dish for Lupus Awareness Month. You know, so because we only have till the 31st to do it. And if you do it, she will literally go online between now and this whole first round and go vote for you. You know, like she'll go vote for you, and then she'll post it on her page and everything else. So I'm like, cool. Well, I have a podcast tomorrow. I'm making something purple on Wednesday. Like, you know, like absolutely, like that's happening. So like, I really had to like, I started asking my friends. I'm like, how do I make something purple? Like lavender?
Something purple. Yeah. I mean, are you trying to keep it under wraps right now? Are you playing close to the chest?
Oh, no, absolutely not. No, absolutely not.
What are we doing?
I'm too loud and proud of everything. So like, I went with like purple potatoes.
The ube, right?
Yeah,
I was going to ube, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then I was thinking like I was looking at cabbage. I was looking at like red onions that are purple.
Red onions.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I was gonna go with certain things like that. I've got a back pocket secret weapon that I like to use a lot, and she is actually from I think it's season 3's Master Chef with Gordon Ramsay. Yeah, she was on the show, and her name's Stacey Amagrande, and she's little, she's little, she's covered in tattoos, and she is a culinary genius, and it doesn't matter, and everything that she makes is right out of the garden. So I'm like, when I'm like, okay, cool, that sounds like a cool challenge. I'm gonna call her and be like, hey, purple, like not savory, not salty, not sweet, not nothing. Like, hey, I want to make something with this, not purple. Like she's like, all right, so I'll just hit her up, be like, what? Give me some ideas. Like, okay, cool, da 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 da, and then she's like my shadow coach for this whole competition. So like, she's not gonna do anything for me or whatever, but she's gonna be like, here's a tip, here's a trick, here's an idea. Now go blow it out of the water. Add your Mikey touch to it, and admin won the hell out of this.
I have one last question for you, Mike. If I have a cousin who is, so basically his mom, when he was born, was going through culinary school, and while she was in school, she was like, had him, but at the age of like 2, he could taste stuff and tell you everything that was in it. So like you give him a bite of something, he's like, oh, there's saffron, there's this, that. Like till this day, he's like that. So he's in school right now, but he got a job like real easily at a really nice restaurant in LA, like as a sous chef. So I'm like, dude, I know how good he is because every time he cooks for us on the holidays, it's like, I don't care who else is cooking. I just want Nathan's cooking. But like, he doesn't want to pursue it as a profession. What advice would you give to him to like, because he doesn't want to make it into a profession and like spoil it. What would you say to him?
So I've actually run into this before, and I actually helped my little cousin out and completely saved it, and he's loving it again. So the mother of my children, she was raised like in a Christian household, went to Christian school, went to Christian high school, everything, and then immediately after she graduated, stopped going to church, stopped going to everything. It was too much, too fast, and it was all the time. So it basically it like smothered it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Where she was just over it now, and she lost interest. And it wasn't until, like I said, my kids showed interest in it that she picked it right back up. Like as soon as, I mean, like you said, like can't say no to a ham and cheese at a little girl bakery. You're not going to tell this little girl no if she wants to go to church. So it's that kind of a thing. I don't think it's because he lost interest. What I think is because he got that job so quickly, so early on, and the type of job he didn't get to go to like a dude's ranch, off of 2nd Avenue, and start off as a cook, where you learn you get thrown into the shit immediately. You know what I mean? Like you get
I think it's not that he's tired of it. I think it's like he loves it. He's passionate about it. He's way more passionate about that than the thing he's actually studying for his career. So my whole thing is just like, F what you're studying for, dude. You're doing this already. You love this.
Yeah. So like, is it which one is it that he's trying to give up? That he's trying to
he doesn't want to do. He doesn't want to cook professionally, but he loves it and he's passionate about it. But he doesn't want to do it professionly.
So honestly, he doesn't have to do it professionally. I mean,
that's
even
true, right? And then he just does whatever he wants.
Yeah, but if he's that good at it, you know what I mean? Like if you're that good at it, then you can make it a hobby, and don't lose interest in cooking because it's too much too fast. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like, yeah. So if I were him, I would keep doing what he's doing in school, keep doing whatever it is that he loves doing. But like as far as food wise, like go get a food truck, go get a cart. You know what I mean? And it's simple. Like there's a place right here in Victorville where you can go get it's a flat top and a wok and like a couple of like deep fry baskets. Okay. And you can get it for like $1,500 or whatever, or you can make payments on it. He could literally go there, drop a poster board that he made out of Sharpies and stuff from the dollar store and just be like, hey man, I make really good grilled cheese. You know what I mean? Like I make these 3 things I make really bomb, and go sit at the swap meet and go pursue. It makes you happy. Yeah. Go do that. Or get a hold of somebody like me who goes and feeds the homeless randomly And it's like, hey man, I want to take this cart and like do something. It brings that love to cook, that love for food and everything else, but it does something for you. You know what I mean? It does something for you on the inside. So like when
they do say that, like when you're looking to like heal, sometimes healing other people will help, heal yourself internally.
You know how some people say hurt people. You know what I mean? Well, heal people too.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and to go out there and help someone in need that in ways that you didn't think so. I mean, like especially like, okay, for example, like I work with a band, one of my local bands out here, and they're like, man, I want to do something big, like I want to do something crazy, like something that'll get the attention, like blah blah blah. And I'm like, let's go feed the homeless. And they're like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah. I was like, let's go feed the homeless. And then I was like, what we can do is we'll do a skate park day where we just throw a pop-up show at a skate park for no reason at all and go give away all this merch and everything else. I go, you're keeping that drive alive for the kids that like, hey man, you can be in a band too. Hey, you can be a professional skateboarder. Or if we go feed the homeless, it's like, hey, by the way, I'm not going to hand you $1 or all my change in the car. But if you're hungry, I'll feed you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're follow me in there. Like, you know what I mean? Like follow me in, order something and I'll feed you. Like it's that easy. And if you can, like I said before, like when I win, Zozo would say, when I win and I get this restaurant started right away, I'm going to do that. I'm going to give that one person that opportunity to like, let me help you,
Yeah.
And I'm going to give that. I'm going to like, if you're willing to help yourself, I'm willing to help you, So like you said, it was like a nephew, right? Like, or something like that. Like, if he wants to go do something else with his education and career, like I'd be like, go for it, bro. Go for it.
Right.
But don't stop doing that though. Cause you're like really, really good at it. And I think we should like go together and invest in doing something on the weekends or even not that much. Even if he wants to like live his life or something, then like, cool. Well, then let's just do this once a month. And we'll rent a spot at the swap meet and you can cook these things that you're really good at that nobody else knows how to cook, Yeah. Or when he does cook at home, what I found a couple of people have told me, join the food album. And it's like, I'm not even like, I don't mean to say that like brag or be biased at all, but like join the food album. I'm telling you, like join this thing where you can literally showcase your dish that you made on a paper plate and throw in cuss words like crazy. And throw in your story about how your nephew is the one that like in the middle of cooking this, he crapped his pants and like, you can do whatever you want, but like join the food album to know that you can share it and people love it and ask for your recipe makes you want to do it again, and so that it keeps that drive alive,
It's very cool. Yeah, absolutely. And the hashtag food album, that's on all of the media, social media sites. People can join it and check it out.
Yeah, it's absolutely everywhere. But the biggest contributor that we do is on Facebook.
Okay. Very cool. Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Mike, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Man, it's been a pleasure for me, man. Like
dude,
I said,
we're all behind you, man. We're on your back with everybody else. So
yeah. I appreciate that so much, man. Yeah. And like I said, join the group and challenge me, boys, because like I'm ready to go. Like, give me something new. Like, all right, this is weird. Go cook a sea urchin. I'm gonna be like, awesome. All right, Jason, I'll remember that. Like, yeah.
Very cool. So the website is favechef.com. Go check it out. Look for Michael Quick. Vote for him. And Mike, when you win this thing, we need you to come back, and we would love to chat with you more about how that journey is going and all that stuff. We'd love to be updated here. We love to have you on, and you're more than 100%. Welcome anytime to just stop by and talk about nerdy stuff.
And the favorite chef thing is it's just the beginning to a new. It's a window, and I can either choose to close the window or open it and walk through it.
Mm-hmm.
And so. This whole thing, it's just a window for me. So it's not even a new pathway or something else. It's just a window. So like, I mean, it one day when I take the kids for a road trip, I might just pop into Portland on purpose,
Please.
And like on our way to like, I'm gonna find out where Jason, because he lives by me somewhere. So like, it's like awesome. I'm going to his house. We're getting those potatoes, and I'm gonna show you how to like make this chimichurri steak that my son makes. So like, That's happening.
Me next, please.
Yeah, Christian, you're not getting mad at anything. I'm gonna find you.
Yeah, no, you can come over. We can make some hot pockets. It's gonna be a
Bro,
blast.
I'm down. I can actually make homemade hot pockets. So we can do that.
After
Where you
my
can
own
put
hot-
anything you want into a hot pocket.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
Absolutely
I'm
love that.
down.
Yeah. We look forward to seeing you around the country, man. Doing your thing. Very, very excited.
Rooting for you.
Let's go.
Zoe, your daughter's name is, right? Zoe.
Zoe, yeah.
I look forward to eating at your bakery. I'm super
Yes.
excited.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be so cool.
Yeah, you guys will be the first ones on the house for sure.
Awesome.
5 a.m. We'll be there.
We'll be there at 5.
We will. Oh yeah, I'll be there at 5 a.m. for sure.
Those are
We
the
can do it
hot,
for
fresh
Punch, we
ones
can do
come
it
out.
for a bakery.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyways, that's our show, everyone. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for checking it out. #foodalbum, favechef.com. Let's make this happen. Let's push it. Let's, share with your friends. If you go to favechef.com and vote for them, share it on your profile. Let's get it going, guys, because this is going to happen.
Threw a Dodger hat on.
Yeah.
I just got my dog. I know.
Ouch.
Boom.
All right,
There you
man.
go.
I love you guys. Thanks, man.
There you go. And I hate, listen, this is a pop culture podcast, and I hate to bring the mood down a little bit, but I got to say, I did get a chance to watch The Strangers Chapter 1 this past weekend, and I have to say, don't watch it. That's my review for right now.
Good, huh?
I'll post a full review on Pastrami. We'll get a full review up at pastramination.com very soon. Yeah, traumatized by it. Not in a good way either. Like not in the good horror movie traumatized way.
But there are some good goons that might be worth seeing that are fast and cool.
Yeah. Yes. Very much so. Very much so. So yeah. And this weekend Furiosa comes out. So let us know if you guys plan on seeing that.
Finally.
We'll
Hopefully it's better.
it will be better than Mad Max. Or than
I most definitely plan on going to the IMAX down here in Ontario, and I'm gonna hit that. But I plan on swinging by one of the little mom and pop restaurants and popping in and doing my little food album thing on the way.
That's
Sweet.
awesome. That's so cool.
There's
Look
a lot
forward
of
to
really
seeing
good
that.
spots like right by in Ontario. There's a tiny little sandwich shop, little corner sandwich shop.
They're gone now. The corner bakery.
No, not corner bakery. It's just I
No,
think
no,
it's called. I was just there like 2 days ago. I
It's
got
called
a
the corner sandwich shop or something like that.
Yeah,
It's like
it's on
on
oh
this
my
side
God.
of Fort.
yes, yeah. It's like
Okay, I know which one that is. Yes,
Yeah. They're not open on the weekends though. I don't think.
they're so good.
Yeah, they're so good. It's a 30-minute drive through traffic for me, but I go there for the pastrami. So
Yes.
Oh, the
God.
pastrami.
You gotta. Well, thank you guys for checking out the show. Thank you all for watching. And like I said, let's go make this happen for Michael. We're so stoked for him, and we look forward to having you back, Mike, when it all blows up for you. So thank you all for watching.
You guys get a hold of me anytime. I'll pop in and give you updates or whatever. So
yes,
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, we're very, very excited for that. And as always, check out pastramination.com for the latest pop culture reviews and news and all that fun stuff. So we will see you guys next week. As usual, same time, same place. And if you want to check out an audio version of this, we'll have an audio version of it out in a couple of weeks. So make sure to like and subscribe and share all that stuff as well. Anyways, we will see you guys later. You all have a good night. You all take care of yourselves and each other. We will see you guys later. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Thank you, guys.